Hello and welcome back to the Summoner's Guide to Final Fantasy XIV. Our next foray into the dungeons is the story dungeon from patch 2.5, Keeper of the Lake. This is definitely one of the better dungeons in the 2.5, in the 2.x series in general. This one will tend to come up a lot when you're doing the level 50-60 roulette, and it's part of the story, so it's a good thing to know how to play this one. Alright, so the first trash pull here is controlled. You can't actually get into the next room without killing these 3 ads. Harness snipper and codpiece clipper. Sounds awfully painful. As you can see, I'm sporting a new look for Violet. I actually got the caster robe from World of Darkness, so I decided to base my outfit around it. It's actually a pretty nice looking piece of gear on her. Alright, so this next trash pull, tanks tend to go to town on. So I usually kind of wait till they gather up, then I'll bane everything. I don't have Shadow Flare yet, but I can enkindle. And now I can Shadow Flare. And I can use that. Alright, let's focus on the Son of the Keeper. I'm starting to run out of time on my dots, so I'll go ahead and bane everything again. I'll put the magic vulnerability up on him. Huh. Well, don't have to worry about that AoE. We took care of that. Alright, well, I'm almost out of resources, so I'm just going to take these guys down one at a time. Alright, killing that group will open up the section, or the passage to the next section. He was not in range. But we're almost at the first boss, so there's that. Again, not really that much to talk about in the trash pulls. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, either one. Alright. So this guy's got some mechanics. And these mechanics are such that you're going to want to kind of be tucked up in the front area. You want to be close to him, but not quite on it. The biggest mechanic you're going to have to worry about is he's going to drop these cerulean tanks throughout the fight. Now, the best thing to do with cerulean tanks is to knock them back against the wall. The best way to position yourself is in a place where you're or any AoE attack that hits you is not going to hit the cerulean tanks. The cerulean tanks take too much damage, they will explode. If there are any other cerulean tanks near them, those tanks will also explode. Now, the auxiliary cerulean tanks can be attacked and knocked back into the wall. The main cerulean tanks cannot be. So you want to make sure that you're aiming, that you're not in a position where you're going to have the main cerulean tank hit. The auxiliary cerulean tanks, when they explode, will only affect everything in a short range. Yeah, anybody with an instant AoE attack is going to want to knock all those cerulean tanks back when that happens. Again, well, as you're going to see, the small cerulean tanks explode in a short radius around them. The main cerulean tanks will hit everything in the room. So don't be anywhere near the main tank, or don't be anywhere near any of the tanks when the main tank goes off. Otherwise, that will happen. Oh. Now, also note that you cannot actually move the cerulean tanks after they have been, after they're glowing, basically. Alright. So this is why I'm positioning myself here, so that the main tank doesn't get hit. It did not get hit there. This is good. And really, there's a lot of luck involved in this fight, too. Because, I mean, the tanks could end up in a position where you're going to be just getting in trouble with them no matter what you do. Oh, is that one going to get hit? Yep. And I'll get over here to avoid getting hit. Also, flamethrower. Don't stand in the fire. Stupid tanks. So yeah, there's just a lot of luck in this fight. If the tanks are placed poorly, and the attacks come at the wrong time or in the wrong position, you can just get that chain reaction of those tanks that'll absolutely wreck the group. So just be patient, try to manipulate the tanks as much as you can, and hope you get through. And again, when he does the move where he sucks all the tanks into the middle with him, if you have an instant cast AoE attack, which I do not, you can use that attack to knock everything back. It used to be that summoners had Miasma 2, which was a point blank instant cast AoE ability that basically just applied a mild debuff. That was taken away from summoners, but given back to scholars for some reason. But it would be most summoners in that particular fight really wish they still had Miasma 2. For that, and for the bomb mechanic in Greyflock's Heart. Alright, when all these, this entire trash bowl is down, the alarm will go off, and will annoy you for the next several minutes. Pick up the key and use it in the Magitech terminal. Now, for these next couple holes, there will be, back in the back there, the Magitech field inductor. You kind of want to get that out of the way first, because that will unlock the force field that's protecting that Colossus. Now, the Colossus is going to be launching attacks at you through the field. So you want to make the Colossus vulnerable as soon as you can. The tank should then pick up the Colossus, and you can just use normal AoE tactics at this point. But watch out for the Colossus attacks, as they tend to be pretty robust AoEs, and they hit pretty hard. So be ready to dodge whatever he throws at you. The Centurions have a lot of health as well. They can take a while to kill. Alright. So once that pull is done, then you head to the next section and you do the same thing. Find the field inductor. Make that your priority. Tank then should pick up the Colossus, which it did. So throw in all your favorite AoE techniques. Yeah, he's being very aggressive with his AoEs, if you haven't noticed. I'm gonna get that signifier out of the way. Alright, now I'll switch back to the Colossus. He's gonna go down shortly, especially if I do that. Alright, when this all happens, we're going to get another Imperial Identification key, pick up that key, and immediately head over to the terminal to put an end to this infernal alarm! Ah, so much better. And, not only did you take care of that extremely annoying alarm, you've unlocked the second boss. This is another boss that can totally wreck you, and there is a certain amount of luck involved in this one too. But mainly you just want to keep on your toes here. You'll want to stay relatively close to the boss on this one as well. Especially if you get targeted by that crosshair. He's going to make a beeline toward your position and drop fire. Of course, you do not want to be standing in that fire at any time. Now, that's going to be the main mechanic you're going to be worrying about. Also flamethrower. Note the flamethrower will continue going. If you're standing in that fire, you will take damage as well. Now, while you're worrying about that flame mechanic, you're also going to be worrying about ads that show up. So don't neglect that. Now, the tank did do a good job of gathering everybody up, so getting rid of everybody by way of, by way of AoE attacks is a lot easier when he does that. Alright, again, watch out. Now, that was a well-placed series of fire. You notice how much of the arena we have. always standing in the flame when that happens. So yeah, mostly you want to stay by the wall, and especially if you get marked. Alright, new ad. This one's going to be a little more tricky to deal with. Alright, so... And you'll notice now he's going to be using that fire attack several times in succession, which means you're going to see very little of the arena able to be used. So you just hope that wherever you're standing, you're not going to get yourself in a position where you can't do anything. Alright, we got him now. So yeah, whenever you get targeted by the crosshair, which I never got targeted by the crosshair in this fight. Oh, don't do that! Don't do that! Oh. Yeah. Yeah, try. It can be very hard, but try not to bait that thing toward the party. You see how much damage I took just trying to get out of that. Because I thought he was going to bait it one direction and then he moved the other direction. Alright, so this is a very short third section. That, depending on how ambitious your tank is, and this tank is ambitious, you're not going to be around here for very long. So wait for the tank to gather everything up. I'm going to save and kindle for the next group because it's a little bigger. Lost in thought there for a moment. So this this section, yeah, this is the second section here. Then this pull is going to be the last pull you make if the tank pulls everything. So try to get everything together in your main. The quiver probably going to be your biggest priority. But you'll notice that the arena is such that it can be really hard to gather everything up and really hard to get into a position where you're going to be not getting hit by everything. But it looks like we've got everything down. Now again, once everything's down, the airship that's been firing at you this whole time will take one last shot at the debris there, which will take you into the final boss encounter. And this is a fun fight. It really is. It can be, like the other bosses in this, can be a little mind-racking at times.
Upon my bones, and waketh me from slumber sweet.
Second of all, Midgardsormr is awesome.
Remember, mortal, and fear me.
I love this fight. I really do. As frustrating as it can be sometimes, it's a great fight. So, here's how it works. Start off by fighting Midgardsormr himself, but you're not going to be doing it for long. You're only going to be taking down about 5% of his health before he decides to bind with one of these two dead dragons on the field. That attack right there is interesting. He'll do one big line AoE and then a bunch of smaller line AoEs that you're going to have to dodge. Later on, he'll do basically a 3 combo of lines. So he'll do the big line, then smaller lines, and then another set of smaller lines. Alright, so when he binds to the Mirage Dragon, the first dragon is going to need to be tanked far away from Midgardsormr. The second one needs to be tanked close to Midgardsormr. Otherwise, they'll get in massive buffs and you really won't be able to hurt them. Midgardsormr is going to continue attacking you while you're fighting the Mirage Dragon. So you're going to have to dodge his AoEs as well as the AoEs from the Mirage Dragons. When a Mirage Dragon gets to around 50% of its health, you need to start worrying about an ad called an Estrella, which is going to come in carrying a shield generator. You need that shield generator to survive. Okay, so when the Estrella comes in, immediately target it. And immediately kill it. Then immediately activate the Magitech shield generator until you get the invincibility buff. That will protect you from anima inversion. The shield will go down very shortly after anima inversion, so make sure that A, you're targeting the right thing. You're not being stupid and targeting the invulnerable Midgardsormr, like I was. And B, as soon as anima inversion goes off, get out of the way because you're not going to be protected. The inevitable AoE attack that the Mirage Dragon's going to launch right where everybody's standing. So once the first Mirage Dragon goes down, Midgardsormr will cease to be invulnerable. You can start attacking him again. And again, you'll probably end up doing about 5% damage to him before he awakens the second dragon. Now, as I said before, the second dragon needs to be tanked close to Midgardsormr. And his AoEs are going to be a little harder to dodge. But, just like the first dragon, you need to watch out. Yeah, like that one. Like the first dragon, you need to watch out when you get him down to about 50, because that Estrella is going to come back with another shield generator. And just like the first one, this one needs to die. And you need to activate the shield generator before he manages to, or before you get nuked by anima inversion. I got my... oh boy. Alright, any time now we'll see that Estrella. You can see why this is a little frustrating for casters, because you have to do a lot of moving around, and when you're moving, you're not casting. Alright, so like the last Estrella, you need to hit him hard, hit him fast. Activate the shield generator and get into that shield. That will protect you from anima inversion, get out of the AoE that's inevitably going to follow up. And there you go. That's really all you need to know for this little dance. Now it's just dodging more AoEs. Realizing that they killed your pet. this is what... Well, the advantage that Summoner has in this fight over, say, Black Mage is that you can really depend on your dots to do a lot of the damage in this fight, because you're not going to be doing a lot of direct damage. Alright, well, once both dragons are down, you just need to whittle down the last 5% or so of Midgardsormr's health. And that's all. This is the last of the story dungeons from 2.5. And we have one more dungeon to go, Wanderer's Palace Heart, and that's probably what I'm going to record next. And until then, have a wonderful day.